for loop. So the for loop looks a little differently than the while loop or the do while. So the for loop is also a pretest loop, but it's also called a count controlled because it works for a specific amount of time before it just ends. So the for loop is written with the keyword for, parentheses, but it has three things inside of these parentheses we need to have. First, it's the initialization. Then we have our test or the condition, and then we update, or we do the incrementing or decrementing for it to work. So this is how it will look. So if you see these, this is what it is. So if you're asked what are the three things that appear inside of a for loop, there it is. So a for loop, very simple. We can have it just print out, so I can just say int num equal 1. And then I can say for num is equal to 1, num less than or equal to 5, num plus plus. And I'm going to just say system.out.println num. So if I do this, it's just going to display, it's going to count 1 to 5 for me. And that's fine. Now I can also do this. I can say num is, let's go 10. We want it to be, let's say 50. But here I can also count not just by ones, but I can also increment by a specific number. So I want to count by tens. So now I'm going to get 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. And you can do that with whatever you need to. So that is the basics of a for loop. So here I'm just going to say int num, and then here we're going to have a number and we're going to square it. So I'm going to say system.out.println. I'm going to say number /t squared, and then system.out.println. I'm going to just do some dashes. And then now inside of here, I'm going to say num equals 1. We're only going to go through 1 through 10. And now we're going to say num plus quote /t plus num times num, because we're squaring it. And then now if I run this, I get a nice little chart of 1 to 100, or 1 to 10 squared. So this is fine, but how do we get it to where the user defines this number, and this number? So we first need to just say int, let's just say int start and increment. So we're going to say system.out.print starting number. And I'm going to say start equals keyboard.next int. And I need to have scanner keyboard equal new scanner system.in. And I'm going to repeat this for end number. And then I also want increment. So increment. So to do this, all we do is replace this. So here it's going to yell because we don't have a num anymore. So I can write int num, so I can declare a variable for just a for loop right here. And I'm going to say it equals start. Num is less than or equal to end. And then here plus equals increment. And then let's do the same thing. Let's just keep it squaring. So let's say I want to start at 7. I want to end at 15. And I want to increment by 2. So I got 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, and the number squared. So that is how you let the user define the information for a for loop. Now we can also go count down as well. So I'm going to take all this out just so you can see how we can have this count down. So int num equals, let's say 10. Num is less than or equal to 0, because I want it to stop there. And then I'm going to say minus minus, because I want to count down by 10. And then we're just going to display num. So, and it goes 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. So we can also count down, we can count up. The for loop is very versatile, and I personally like the for loop than the while or do while. In our next video, we're going to look at how to keep a running total and looking at what a sentinel value is, as well as in the following video, we're going to look at nested loops.